Hello everyone, I hope you are doing good. So, today we are going to learn some maths, and the topic which we will be learning today is the fish tail. So, I hope you all must be very excited for it. So, let's start. So, here let's read this together. Deep under the sea, see the lovely colored fish swimming peacefully. This special poem in three lines is called haiku. Okay? And such poems is all about nature and it is very popular in Japan. Let's explore another haiku. The lake, calm, smooth, still. A fish jumps up and returns. Ripples shake the lake. Do you know any other poem about fish? Let's explore such drawing as well. Here we can see that a fish is swimming. Okay. So, when you think about fishes, so what shapes comes in your mind? Any idea? Let's explore it together. Here, we can see that it is written, try to use a square and a triangle to draw a fish. We can use a square and triangle to draw a fish. Let me tell you how. So here, I have used triangles to draw a fish. And here we can see eye of a fish. And here it is representing its fins through which fish swims in water. Okay, let's explore some other points. Look for fish design around you on cloth, in painting, on mats, etc. We can see design of fishes in lots of places like on cloth, in paintings and some other places. Okay, let's explore another point. Mean means a fish and Meenakshi is a girl whose eyes look like a fish. If we look into this girl, her name is Meenakshi, and if we look into her eye, we observe that her shape looks like a fish. Okay, can you think of someone who has such eyes? Okay, let's explore another point. Draw a face with fish eyes. Fishes can have different sizes. Some of the fish might be smaller one, and some might be the bigger one. The bigger fish we can say like whale or we can say shark. Such fishes are very big in size. And let's explore another fact. The smallish fish is about 1 centimeter long. And if we imagine how long is the biggest fish, so it could be like 50 centimeter long. You know, there are lots of big fishes. Here we can see a fish and we observe that its size is too big and the name of this big fish is whale shark. And we can say that if we look into its length, so we can see that its length could be around 30 centimeter. And if we have to write 30 centimeter, we can write it in this way. Let me tell you how. 30 centimeter in this way. Here 30 is representing its length and centimeter is representing its unit. Okay? And whale are different from fish. You know, there is another interesting thing about whales. Whales breathe in the same way as we do. They breathe from their noses. Okay? But when it comes to some other fish, they have no noses and they breathe in water. Okay? Whale gives birth to babies, but fish lay eggs. This is another interesting thing and another difference. The whale shark fish looks big and dangerous. Whale shark is very dangerous. But when it comes to okay, yes, but when it comes to they are harmless. They do not attack. If we compare some other fish like shark can attack, but when it comes to whale shark, that is different from other shark, they do not attack. Although they are very big and seems to be very dangerous, but they are quite harmless. Okay, so this is another difference if we compare whale shark with other shark. Okay, one whale shark was long as 18 meter. Okay, if we look into this number, which is 18 meter, which is quite big, 18 meter is equivalent to 12 children of your size. Like if we consider the length of all the 12 children, then that length would be equivalent to one length of whale shark, which is 18 meter. Okay, yes, and so as the whale shark is pretty big, its length is 18 meter, so it means that their weight is going to be also heavier. And if we think about its weight, so we can say that the weight of this, or we can say the mass of this whale shark could be around somewhat 16,000 kilogram. Okay, here we can see 16,000 kilogram right here. And when we say thousand, so it means that there are three zeros on it. Okay, here 16,000 is the number and kilogram is representing its unit. Okay, so we should remember that in thousand there are three zeros. Okay, so now let's try another question. So here we have learned about the length. Okay, and if we look into this figure, We have observed that the length of this whale shark would be around 18 meter, but when it comes to their mass, it would be around somewhat 16,000 kilogram. Okay. Now let's think about how much do you weigh. When it comes to me, I think my weight would be around 64 kilogram. And let me guess about your weight. And if I'm not wrong, I think you might be around somewhat 25 kilogram. I might be wrong, but it could be like between 25 or 30 kilogram. Okay. So here, if we if we have to write down your weight, so we can say that it could be around, let's use 30 kilogram. Okay. Yes. Okay. So 12 children like you to put together will weigh about how many kilogram? If we are considering one children to be 30 kilogram. Okay. If one children weigh 30 kilogram, so it means that we need to calculate the weight of 12 children. And how we are going to calculate? By using the concept of multiplication. Let me tell you how. Suppose one children weigh one child weigh 30 kilogram, and when it comes to two, for two children, it would be 30 times 2, which would be 60 kilogram. Similarly, if we have to figure out the weight of 12 children, it is going to be 12 times 30, and if you multiply 12 by 30, we will get 3600 kilogram. I hope this concept will be clear to you. Okay. Okay, here the weight is going to be 360 kilogram. Okay. What happened to the mic? Let it be 30. Okay. Here if we multiply 12 by 30, it would be 360. Let's explore some other question. Okay, so here comes our another question. Let's see what is given here. About how much more does the whale shark weigh than 12 children like you put together? So, if we think about how much more does the whale shark weigh, so which operation here we will be using? When we see more, how much more? This is our main keyword here. How much more? So this statement is going to help us in deciding which operation we should be using here. So whenever we see such kind of statement, so it means that we need to perform subtraction. Okay, so here we have just figured out the weight of 12 children, which is 360 kilogram. And earlier we have discussed how much is the weight of whale shark, and here it was 16,000 kilogram. Okay, so it means that if we have to figure it out how much more does the whale shark weigh than 12 children, so therefore we will be subtracting 360 from 16,000 kilogram. And if we do so, let's do it here first. 16,000 kilogram, we need to take away 360 from it. And if we perform this subtraction, we will get 15,640 as an answer. But we should not be writing 15,640. We should be writing our complete answer. And our complete answer is going to be like, and we should not forget to insert the comma as well while writing bigger number. So here we should be inserting comma. So here our answer would be 15,640 kilogram. So this is our final answer. So here we have learned when we talk about how much more. So it means that how much more. So it means that we need to perform subtraction. Okay. This is our main keyword, how much more. Okay. Now let's explore another concept. Okay. To see the difference between whales and fish, look carefully at their tails. Can you see that the fish tail stands flat along its body, but the tail of the white almost look like two legs? Can you spot the fish in the picture? If we look into the given picture, what we see? Can you see the fish tail stands flat along its body? Which we can see such fish right here. But when it comes to the tail of whale, which almost look like two legs, here this is the whale. And don't you think that it look like two legs? Yes, it look like two legs. Okay. Schools of fish. Do you know another interesting thing? Fish like to swim together in the sea, and they prefer to swim in groups. And such group is very big. In other words, we can say big groups. And such thing is called as schools of fish. Okay. And let's see what they feed in their school. In their school, they okay. In their school, they feel safe from the bigger fish. See, here we can see they all the fishes are traveling in a big groups. They are swimming in a big groups. And when they swim in big groups, they feel safe. And they also believe in that unity is a great power. Unity is power. Okay. To scare away bigger fish, you know what small fishes do? They drink up lots of water so as to just look big. Bigger the fish, bigger is going to be their power, so that they can scare some other fish around them. Okay, so here we can see a girl here, and her name is Jinsey. Jinsey used these shapes to make drawing of fish. Okay, now you can also use the given shapes to draw different sea animals. Let's see how things are working. If we have to draw a lobster, we can use a triangle, okay? Because if we look into this shape here from here to here, it looks like a triangle. And when it comes to the front shape, for that we can use a circle, or we can say a half circle. Let's draw it here. How we can draw a lobster. So here we have used triangle. This is our triangle, and here we have used circle. So this shape is representing a triangle, and this shape is representing a circle. Similarly, when we similarly, if we have to draw eel, so we can use this shape like in this way. So this is representing an eel. Okay. Similarly, we can use lots of shapes in drawing the given sea animals. Okay. When it comes to jellyfish, we can simply use a circle. Okay. So which of these sea animals you have seen before? And let me guess, for sure you must have explored a parrotfish, which is very common. Okay. Fishermen in their boats. Let's explore some other concept. Okay. How many of you have seen the sea? Have you seen the sea? If yes, then it's really great. Have you seen it in a movie or for real? You know, exploring sea in real is really mesmerizing thing because it looks very beautiful. Okay, let's explore sea in our mind. Okay, and we can explore it by closing our eye. So close your eye and imagine the sea with waves rising high. So how high do you think waves can go? Any idea? When it comes to their height, it could be big, it could be small. So when it comes to highway, very high, the biggest, or we can say the biggest one. So that wave is not the normal one, and that wave is known as tsunami. Okay, but when it comes to the normal one, it could be around like 10 centimeter. Okay, so we can say that the height of normal wave is around 10 centimeter. And if we have to write 10 centimeter, we can write it in this way, 10 centimeter. Okay, so here we can see picture of a wave. Okay, now let's imagine another thing. Imagine that there are fishermen in their boats. Okay, they are going up and down with waves. Okay, they start their trip when it is still dark. Some of them go on a simple boat made from logs of wood tied together. Here we can see a simple boat, okay, and it is made of wood which has been tied together. Okay, if the sea is rough with high tides and strong wind, then this fisherman might have a very difficult time because it's look very scary, it feels very scary. Okay, so such log boats doesn't go very far because it is generally for casual exploration. Okay, if the wind is very helpful, they can travel about like 4 kilometer in 1 hour. Okay, so in 1 hour they have traveled how much? 4 kilometer. Okay, so in in 1 hour they are traveling 4 kilometer, and suppose if the question says that how long will they take to go a distance of 10 kilometer, so we can calculate the time as well. For 1 hour it is taking 4 kilometer. Let's write it here. For 1 hour it is taking 10 kilometer, and we need to calculate for, sorry, in 1 hour it is 4 kilometer, and we need to calculate for 10 kilometer. So how much are, so here we can solve this calculation by the help of required operation, and that required operation would be division. Let me tell you how. For example, let's consider some x hours is taking the time. What we can do, we can perform cross multiplication, and let me tell you how we are going to do it. we will be multiplying this x. Wait a second. We will be multiplying this x with this 4 and this 10 with this 1. And if we do so, we get 10 equals to 4x. So it means that if we have to figure out the value of x, we need to divide 10 by 4. And if we divide 10 by 4, we will get 2.5. And that is going to be 2.5 hours. Okay. So for that, our answer would be 2.5 hours. Okay. We can solve this question in another way as well. For example, in 1 hour, fishermen are covering 4 kilometers. So in 2 hours, it would be 8 kilometers, just double of 4 kilometers. Okay. So as of now, we have covered how much? We have covered 8 kilometers. So 8 kilometers they are taking 2 hours, but we need to figure out for 2 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Still we need to cover 2 kilometers. Okay. So 4 kilometers in 1 hour, so 2 kilometers would be in half an hour. So for 8 kilometers it is 2 hours. So for half an hour it is, so for 2 kilometers it is half an hour. So altogether it would be 2 hours 30 minutes, or we can say 2.5 hours. Okay. Guess how far you can go in 1 hour if you walk first. So just now we have discussed in 1 hour. Okay. If you walk fast, I think we can go up to like 4 kilometers. Okay. Fisherman can feel the wind and looks at the sun to find out which way to go. Fishermen usually have the ability to feel the wind, and they can just figure it out how the weather is going to be. They just look at the sun and they just feel where the direction is, where the direction of wind is going to be, and what is going to be the strength of wind. Many of us would get lost and not be able to find out our way on the sea. Whether you only see water and nothing else. Okay, let's find out some other thing. Look at the sun and find out the direction from where it rises. From where you are, what interesting do you see to your east? Okay, name the two things that are lying to west. So these are the question which you can consider as your homework. Okay, when it comes to direction, this east and this west is representing directions. If we explore the directions, let me tell you where is north, south, east and west. Now there are 4 directions. This is north, which we represented by the help of letter N. The opposite of north is south, and the arrow which is towards the right hand side is east, which we represented by the letter E. And opposite of east is west, which we will represent by the help of letter W. So these are our four directions: north, south, east, and west. Okay, so consider these two questions as your homework. Okay, okay. Now let's see what is given here. What a catch! Out on the sea, fishermen look for a place where they hope to find a good catch of fish. They generally spread their nets. They catch fish by the help of their nets. They will have to wait for many hours for the fish to come into their nets. When the fish comes, they just catch them. Okay, look at the different type of boats. Here we can see different kind of boats. This picture shows an image of oarboat. Some boats might have motors, so therefore we say it as motorboat. And the boats which is having motors, their speed are pretty fast. They are pretty fast because they are having engine on it. Engine, or we can say motor, has been installed on it. Okay, so since they go far, motorboat, they can catch more fish. These boats travel faster at the speed of about 20 km in 1 hour. So in 1 hour, motorboat can cover around 20 km. Okay, which is a very good distance. So if the motorboat is covering 20 km in 1 hour, let's try to answer this given question. How far would the motorboat would go in 3.5 hours? First, let's figure out how much distance the boat is covering in half an hour. In 1 hour, boat is covering 20 km. So when it comes to half an hour, it is going to be half of 20. So half of 20 is 10 km. So for half an hour, boat is covering 10 km. As the boat is covering 20 km in 1 hour, for half an hour, it is going to be 10 km. And we need to calculate for 3.5 an hour. For that, let's first figure out how much distance boat will cover in 3 hours. So 1 hour, it is 20 km. For 3 hours, it is going to be, we can use operation of multiplication, and if we do so, we get 20 times 3, and it would be 60 km. For 3 hours, it is going to be 60 km. But this is not our answer, because we need to calculate for 3.5 an hour. For that, which operation we should be using? Addition. We will be adding the distance which the boat has covered in 3 hours, as well as the distance which the boat has covered in half an hour. So 10 km here, 60 km here. We need to add these two distances. And if we do so, Our answer is going to be 70 kilometers. 60 kilometer add 10 kilometer. Our final answer would be 70 kilometers. So in 3.5 hours, the total distance which the boat has covered is 70 kilometers. Okay, in this way we can calculate it. Okay, I hope this question might be clear to you. Now let's explore our another question. How much time will they take to go 85 kilometers? So here we need to calculate the time. We can calculate this very easily, and let me tell you how. Okay, so here 20 kilometer is being covered in 1 hour. Okay, and here we have discussed 20 kilometer in 1 hour. Okay, we need to calculate for 85 kilometer. So here let's consider that x hours of time it would take for a boat. Okay, so here we need to find out the value of x. So here also we can use the concept of cross multiplication, and let me tell you how. We will be multiplying this 85 by 1 and this x with this 20, and if we do so we get 20 times x equals to 85 times 1. So we get 20x equals to 85, and we can figure out the value of x by dividing 85 by 20, and if we divide 85 by 20, our answer is going to be 4.25. So boat will take 4.25 hours in covering 85 kilometers. Okay, and this way we can calculate it. So here we can see different kind of boat. Here is our motorboat. This is our another motorboat. This is our long tail boat, and this is our big machine boat. Okay, but the fishermen are not very worried. And why they are not worried? There are some very big machine boats in the businesses. They go far out and put their big nets deep in the sea. This way they collect whole lot of fish, leaving very few near the seashore. They also stay out on the sea for many days. These big machine boats also catch the small baby fish which have yet to grow up. Fishermen in the smaller boats always let the baby fish pass through their nets to go back into the sea. They choose a net size in such a way that only the grown up fish are caught. For hundreds of years, fishermen have cared for the sea and its fishes, and fished only a little to eat and sell. They say that if trawlers catch thousands of kilograms of fish every day, there will be no fish left in the sea. Let's see, let's have a look what this question, what the given thing says. Alright, a news report about the dangerous faced by the fishes in our rivers and seas. Okay, so you can consider this to be as your homework. Okay, you can prepare your report. Okay, which boat gets how much? In one trip, the long boat brings about 20 kilograms of fish. But other type of boats bring a bigger weight, bigger catch as given in the table. Here we can see a table. Let's see what the table is actually showing to us. The table also shows the speed of each type of boat, which is how far each boat goes in 1 hour. Look at the table and calculate. Okay, about how much fish in all will each type of boat bring in 7 trips? About how far? Okay, so here we need to calculate the three given thing. The first thing which we have to calculate is about how much fish in all will each type of boat bring in 7 trips. Okay, so here we need to calculate three things. And let's continue with this question in our next session as our session time is about to end. So before ending the session, let's have a quick review of things which we have learned today. So in our today's session, we have learned how to write a number with its unit. For example, if we say if a length of small fish is 1 centimeter, and when it comes to the length of biggest fish, we can say that the length of this whale shark could be around 15 centimeter. Okay. Okay. Now we have also learned about its weight as well. The weight of this whale shark is around 16,000 kilogram. Okay. And thousand, there are three zeros, and kilogram is representing its unit. Okay. And here we have also learned that suppose if you weigh 30 kilogram and we have to figure out the weight of 12 children. So what we have learned? We have learned that we can calculate it by the concept of multiplication. We can multiply 12 by 30. Why we are multiplying it by 30? This is because 30 is representing the weight of one child, and we need to calculate the weight for 12 children. So therefore we will be using the concept of multiplication. So 12 times 30 would be 360. So our answer is going to be 360 kilogram, not only 360. We should not forget to insert the unit. So here our answer is going to be 360 kilogram. Okay.